I like Disney as much as the next person, unless the next person hates Disney or loves it like loads, because I suppose I'm quite a casual. Backtracking already and we haven't even got into the video. There's lots of Disney films I haven't seen that people tell me that I'm like an awful person for not having seen. Ratatouille, Cars. I just watched Incredibles for the first time like last week, and a bunch of people DM'd me on Instagram telling me that apparently that may be an awful person. Have you seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy 400 times? Because I haven't kept count, but I'm pretty sure I'm close to that. So who's the real awful person here? Anyway, I want to see if I can identify a Disney hater from a group of Disney fans. In this video, there are 6 Disney fans and a secret hater who has to try and blend in, try and convince the rest of them that they like Disney as much as the rest of the group. Like a really low stakes version of the traitors. And look, before we jump in, I just want to make it clear, like, I'm not the biggest Disney fan in the world. Like, I like Disney, but I'm not obsessed with it, okay? There's lots of little details other people might pick up on that's really obvious. Like if somebody calls the main rat from Ratatouille Pete, but actually his name's Steve, I might miss out on those details because I'm not a huge Disney fan. With that said, let's jump in and see if we can identify the Disney hater.
Talk about what animal Goofy is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The age-old goof.
Sorry, did she just say the species that Goofy was is a goof? I don't know if that's some crazy Disney lore that I missed, but Goofy is clearly a dog. Like Abu here is not a monkey, clearly just an ab. That old Mickey Mouse, no, he's not a mouse, he's a Mick.
Always go to dog.
Right, I mean, yeah.
And he's attracted to a cow.
But he's attracted to a cow? I feel like I missed that detail growing up.
Brought together 7 Disney fans.
I'm a Disney fan.
I'm a Disney fan.
I'm a Disney fan.
I'm a Disney fan.
I am a Disney fan.
I'm a Disney fan.
I'm a Disney fan.
They are all wearing Disney merch. What kind of loser would do that? I feel like if I was the hater, I'd maybe show up in not Disney merch and then just like double bluff. Like, come on, if I wasn't a Disney fan, would I be this obvious about it? Just wearing like an I hate Disney t-shirt.
Group discovers who the liar is, they'll split a cash prize. If the liar survives, they win the entire prize.
What's everyone's favorite era of Disney?
The Renaissance. Yes.
I didn't even know there were names for the different eras. I just thought it was like old animation, newer animation in the 90s, and then like 3D animation. Also, does anyone else low-key really struggle to figure out what's Disney and what's Pixar? Like, which one is Frozen? How can you tell, or are you just supposed to know?
Do people really think about that? So I was like, okay, I guess they do.
That's me. Like, do people really think about this?
Whoa, mine is actually a little bit of Silver Age, but more
Okay, yeah.
Beauty.
I severely underestimated how big Disney fans these people are. The Silver Age feels like an art history class, honestly.
The 90s kids.
Yeah, I see the
All about
I love it. Everyone was wearing like super spirited Disney things. The only one who stood out to me the most was Lavender. She had a more dark like attire.
There was like a black and white Mickey, right? Is she not just doing like the black and white Mickey cartoon?
What's everyone's favorite Disney princess?
I feel like asking everyone's favorite Disney princess is a really easy question to ask if you're not the Disney fan, but you want to pretend to be. Like, first of all, you can just name the most obvious, like everyone's heard of like Cinderella or Ariel, you know? And secondly, like you've asked a question, so you're putting yourself in a position of authority. When everyone and their dog knows that Disney has princesses, that's a really easy question to ask without requiring any real knowledge of Disney.
I love Tiana.
Ariel.
Mine's Ariel.
Yeah, look at that. See, I'm wearing the Mulan, and it's not a stereotype, I swear.
My favorite princess is Vanellope.
Okay.
Who's Vanellope? If there wasn't a picture popping up, I would think that she'd made that up. Okay, she's from Wreck-It Ralph. I think I've seen that. She is currently giving fake fan vibes. Like, all of her Disney merch kind of looks pristine and brand new. Like, she knew people would ask about Disney princesses because, come on, it's a Disney thing. Of course someone's going to ask that. So she's just like, what obscure Disney princess can I think of? Is she even a princess or just a character? I don't even know.
Okay.
Underrated.
Belle. She's smart. She's a bookworm and I'm a total nerd.
That guy was just like, total nerd. Everyone here is a nerd. We're all grown adults talking about Disney. I kind of think he might be the fake fan as well. Like, he asked the princess question, and he's, like, really agreeable with people. She was like Vanellope, which, let's face it, no one's heard of. But he was still like, yeah, underrated. I could have been like, oh, my favorite princess is Strauss Floppeline. And he'd just be like, oh my god, yeah, love that one. Doesn't get enough praise.
I'm Jasmine. I
Yeah,
That's what I grew up with.
Okay, how do we feel about the live action like
hate it.
Disney?
And he's coming in with another question to assert himself in a position of authority. But again, I feel like it's a really low-hanging fruit question. How do we feel about the live action films. Who's your favorite of the Disney princesses? Like, this guy's just gonna be like, oh, who's your favorite of the Walts in the Disney Corporation? Mine's Walt Disney. What's your favorite Disney theme park? Because I know they're a thing. Did you more like Disney Channel or Disney Channel +1? When you were growing up. Low-key though, good strategy, like dictate the conversation where you want it to go.
But it was so emotional.
I just feel like Robin Williams made
Yeah,
the
that's-
best.
That's true. That's true.
Was it horrible?
Will Smith was, I liked him.
I like that he made it his own.
Lady and the Tramp, I was like watching two dogs fall in love and I was like, interesting.
Didn't even know they did a Lady and the Tramp remake. And why are they calling them live actions? I'm sorry, I saw The Lion King. Like, is it animated like the original? Absolutely not. Surely live action means like real people. Those are CGI lions. I've seen it. Like, come up with a new term for being like almost live action. Like almost alive but not. So like a coma action, zombie action. There's something in that.
And I was like, I am uncomfortable.
Jamal was a little quiet. He was more agreeing with people than actually giving answers to the question.
Yes, Chester, I agree. I think Jamal is just like trying to dictate the conversation, but Jamal is the fake fan. In my opinion, I'm with you, Chester.
When I looked at Aya, I was like, there's just something's off about this.
We have a tie. The tie is between Eric and Aya. We're going into a tiebreaker where each of you will tell us your Disney hot take and why.
People really have Disney hot takes? I think what mine would be. I remember when I was a kid, I had a crush on Jasmine even though she was a cartoon, but I don't know if that's a hot take or just like I was a weird kid who fancied pencil crayon drawings. Oh, you know what? I think I have one. I think The Little Mermaid live action might be the best live action remake that Disney has done. Maybe that's a hot take.
Disney does not treat its employees right. I feel like the COVID pandemic was like the biggest example of that. They like laid off all their employees. They like didn't pay them.
So his hot take was treating employees bad is bad?
They're discontinuing like the annual passes for Disneyland when I was finally gonna buy one. Yeah, because they're only having it for like annual pass holders from before or their kids if they're like old enough now. And I was like, okay, like post-pandemic, I'm gonna get a Disney pass. I'm gonna actually be able to go because I'm not in school anymore. And like,
They're not doing the annual passes anymore. Like, I know people with annual passes. Is that true?
I wish I had a little bit more chance to like prove the stuff that I knew. I got Disney ink on me, so like 100% I think this would have proved that I'm a diehard Disney fan.
Yeah, you're not faking that tattoo. They have voted out the wrong guy.
talk about what animal Goofy is.
Wait,
Okay.
Technically,
Okay.
he's a goof. He's a goof.
He's like,
That's like a
What's a goof?
species.
okay, like the confusion is like between that if he's like a dog or a cow.
Right, because if he's a dog, then how is Pluto like an actual dog?
He's like a
That is so fair. This is just a dog walking another dog. Goofy is a dog though, right? I didn't even know there was controversy around that. People think he's a cow. He doesn't moo, he doesn't milk.
Yeah, that's
Or
exactly.
size.
What would you say? Like Goofy movies, what would you say?
I always go to dog.
Right, I mean, yeah.
And he's
it's a good
attracted to
one.
a cow.
I'm sorry, why is the other girl being like, yeah, it's a dog?
I always go to dog.
Right, I mean, yeah.
You just said he was a goof. A goof. The fuck is a goof?
Yeah,
And he's
it's a good
attracted to
one.
a cow.
Dogs can like cows. They have interspecies relationships in Disney. Mickey and Minnie are both mice. Donald and Daisy are both ducks. Do they have interspecies relationships? Like, I'm not saying like a human and an animal, but if Goofy likes a cow and Disney doesn't do interspecies, does that mean Goofy has to be a cow?
I worked at Disneyland for 3 years up until the layoff. So when people would ask me, is Max Goof a dog or what? And I tried to say like a goof because that's what they would tell us to say, that he's a goof.
I can't tell if she's just lying through her teeth. Like, just tell people he's a goof? Surely the follow-up question is gonna be, what's a goof? Like, why would you have humans and mice and ducks and dogs and then just like make up a new species for this one character? I'm suspicious of you.
Vanessa had mentioned that she was a cast member, and which is an easy way for you to learn Disney facts and Disney things.
Like I saw like with eyes that Chester was sussing me out like hard. Like, I wanted to work at the happiest place on earth.
What's everyone's favorite Disney song?
Another easy question from Jamal. Disney princesses, live actions, now Disney songs. This guy has got a game plan, and only Chester has figured it out so far, but so have I. Also, if they don't all name High School Musical songs, they are fake fans.
So it was I Won't Say I'm in Love by Megara. When I saw her singing it, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm a little bit,
It's actually a song from Pocahontas that they pulled out because they thought it was too adult.
it's a duet, right?
If I never knew
Yeah,
you. You know, like
To Dream is a Wish, which is like quintessential, like just all-encompassing Disney.
They all picked the most cliche Disney songs, but no High School Musical ones in there.
I feel like every hardcore Disney fan knows where the human skull is on Pirates of the Caribbean. We can all say it at the same time.
Okay.
Yes.
Like an actual human skull.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Captain's room.
Sorry, did Jamal not know, but he still tried to answer at the same time and just went, blah, blah, blah. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. It was in the barrel, in the water. The skull was in the head.
Didn't know about the human skull. I didn't know there was a human skull. Never heard of it.
I also have never heard of a real human skull being on this children's ride, because that's absurd.
You guys collect anything Disney?
Yes, I collect the Haunted Mansion figurines. The like expensive ones that break my bank.
Oh god, I don't have that much.
That feels like a legit answer. I trust her.
I collect fabric and the Funko Pops.
Do you make things with the fabric?
Yes, I make bags, backpacks, purses, wallets, like all the things.
That could be a good bluff. Like, you could apply what she's just said to anything she's actually a fan of. Like, oh, I collect the fabrics and I turn them into things. She could be a fan of the Power Rangers and do that. Do you know what I mean? It's not Disney specific, so I'm a little bit suspicious of her.
Has everyone been to Disney World or Disneyland?
I told you he'd ask a question about the parks. Jamal, my eyes, both of them, firmly on you, my guy. He's asking, like, the lowest hanging fruit of Disney questions.
Disneyland.
I've never been.
I've actually never been to either because I'm from Chicago and like it's so expensive.
Curveball from Jamal. He asks the question and then drops in that he's never been to either. Is he bluffing? Double bluffing? Or like triple bluffing? Like asking the question but then dropping in like, oh, by the way, I've never been, so don't actually ask me questions about it. But it's not because I'm not a fan, it's just because, you know, it's hard to get there. But if you were a fan and you didn't want people to think you were a fake fan, would you bring it up just to say you'd never been? But if you were the fake fan, would you bring it up to cast the spotlight on yourself? I don't know what kind of game plan you're playing, Jamal.
Jamal had said, I've never been to Disneyland. I'm like, what? It's understandable. It is pretty expensive.
An absolute nothing point there from Kira. Jamal was like, I've never been and I was suspicious, but it's expensive, so I wasn't suspicious anymore. It all made sense. Thanks for the insight.
Never met a straight person who liked Disney, so.
What did she say?
Never met a straight person who liked Disney, so.
Never interstate. What?
Never met a straight person who liked Disney.
Never menstruate when you're at Disney. Is that what she said?
So.
Really?
I have.
Oh, dang, girl.
Yeah.
Literally, I haven't met a lot of straight people to be fair.
Oh, she said never met a straight person who likes Disney. Well, that's me fucking done then.
I haven't met a lot of straight people to be fair.
Oh, you've just never met straight people. Okay, never mind. That's low-key fair, though. If I wasn't one of us, I wouldn't hang out with us either.
Well, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. The people in the game might also be straight, so there's that.
Well, I'm here.
She just stood there like, hang on. Did you just tell me that I'm gay? You're in a heterosexual relationship. You're a fake fan. They're all going to be voting for Kira now.
She said that she was like a 90s.
She literally did vote for her. Oh my god, I really hope the reasoning is because she's straight.
She said that she was like a 90s Disney fan. 90s was like when Disney was like at its biggest, so it would be just like the easiest thing to know about.
I guess, like, kind of true, but also, like, that might just be when she grew up, and surely that's when most people get into Disney, and then you have the nostalgia, so you rewatch them as you get older. Like, my favorite Disney movies are The Lion King and Aladdin, because I grew up with them, and low-key because they're the best ones.
I voted for Lavender because her body language was kind of saying like, I don't want to be here or I don't know what I'm doing here.
And we have a tie.
Another tie. Unbelievable.
The tie is between Jamal and Lavender.
We have to vote for Jamal. Lavender said she collects the Haunted Mansion figurines. Who the hell is making that answer up? Jamal hasn't even been to the theme parks. Although they are expensive, so I guess that's totally fair enough.
We're going to a tiebreaker where each of you will tell us what is your favorite Disney movie and why.
If I had to pick between Aladdin and Lion King, I'm picking the Lion King, I think. Firstly, because the only impression I can do in the world is of Zazu in Just Can't Wait to Be King. This is where the monarchy is headed, count me out! Out of service, out of Africa, I couldn't hang about. I didn't say it was a good impression, okay?
This is the hardest question you can ask a Disney fan, but I love Lady and the Tramp more than anything.
Nobody likes Lady and the Tramp, Lavender, okay? That's like when Kira was like, oh, my favorite character is Veronelle. What was that character called? The Wreck-It Ralph girl. who's not even a princess, by the way. It's just so like, look at me, I know my Disney stuff. I'm so different, I must be a real fan. Which, you know, low-key, I kind of think she is, so that's fair enough.
I love the cartoons, I love the score. One of my favorite singers does like the main song, La La Loo. La La Loo, La La Loo.
They're all like nodding along like, none of us have seen Lady and the Tramp. It's no one's favorite. Nobody likes that movie.
Okay, my favorite movie is Frozen. It's probably cliche, but I think it's a
Jamal picking one of the most popular Disney movies. Shock.
beautiful story. The music is amazing, and I think Disney does a good job in subverting the classic prince falls in love with the princess, they fall in love. But the true love in this story is more between the sister, Elsa, and Anna.
My guy's just read a BuzzFeed article from like 2011. Was Frozen even out then? I don't think he's tricking anyone. I think Jamal's done here.
And I think that's really beautiful. Also, I'm a huge Rory fan, and Frozen on stage is amazing. Thank you, guys. I thought I did good, but I feel like everyone says Frozen's their favorite movie, so it is what it is.
Jamal has contributed nothing niche, like no actual demonstration of an in-depth knowledge. I think they got the fake fan out.
Please raise your hand if you want to continue the game in 3, 2, 1.
I'm like, I think that we're all fans. Can we just stop the game?
Kira's the only one who didn't raise her hand. And I've been moderately suspicious of Kira. And the thing is, if you were the fake fan, you would want to end the game at the earliest possible opportunity.
The magical experience round. Each of you will get the opportunity to tell the others what was your most magical experience with Disney.
Your most magical experience with Disney. Does everyone have one? Like, I feel like for some people, Disney was just like, we just watched those films a lot growing up and I liked them. So I watched them over and over again. I'm trying to think what I would pick as my most magical Disney experience. Like my girlfriend and I went to Florida for 2 weeks. That was pretty magical.
I grew up like super poor, and the only time I got to go to Disney was with my like rich grandpa.
Sorry, is she giving us information about Disney or a sob story? Like, I'm really sorry for your circumstances, Lavender. It must be tough for you, but this is not Britain's Got Talent. You don't have to tug on our heartstrings. You're not gonna get the sympathy vote. Kind of suspicious of her now.
It was really great, like integrating into the family and also like building a relationship with my Opa. And he just died last year, so going without him is still, it feels like he's still with me. So even just going is like magical.
When I first started driving, I got a speeding ticket.
Where is this story going? Oh yeah, I got a speeding ticket once, and Mickey Mouse actually was the cop who pulled me over, so that was pretty magical.
I was pulled over by the police and I freaked out. And I was so nervous that when he was like license and registration, I like reached over and I grabbed my wallet and I just handed him everything.
What a great Disney story. Oh yeah, I gave the cop my wallet. The cop was still Mickey Mouse. Where is this going? I guess if I stopped pausing it every 2 seconds, I'd find out.
I carry my like Autotopia license, the first one I ever got, in my wallet, and I had it in.
What's Autotopia? Is that like a Disney thing?
Looked at it and he let me go. So I come home and I'm like, Mom, I got out of a speeding ticket. And she's like, how? And I'm like, Disney.
Is that 1, a magical memory? 2, really a Disney memory? 3, isn't that humiliating? I'd be like, oh yeah, my magical Disney memory is I went into a shop and I stole a bunch of stuff and one of them was a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal. So, magical story. Like, Disney is such a tiny part of that.
So as you guys know, I worked at Disneyland.
Oh my god, Vanessa, did you work at Disneyland? You should have said.
Specific what I did, I was in the entertainment department and I would watch and hang out with the characters a lot. There were moments where I'd cry because seeing these families together was just so beautiful.
I'm not saying she's lying, okay? But can you imagine you're queuing up with your family, you want to go and meet Mickey Mouse. You've been lining up for like an hour. Your kids are getting annoyed, they're tired, they're teasy. Your feet hurt, it's like day 7 of your trip. You go and take a picture of Mickey and just in the corner a member of staff is just bawling their eyes out. Like, ma'am, can you just take our picture, please? Why are you crying? Have a magical day with Mickey. Like, even if it was magical with that family, imagine when they leave and the next ones come in. Imagine the next one is just this like giant guy by himself who just wants to meet Mickey. And he walks up and then Vanessa is just there like bawling her eyes out already. Welcome to Mickey's Playhouse.
And I have like photographic memories of this, and I'm really grateful for that.
So I as well have a lot of magical Disney memories.
Oh, that's convenient, Kira, because that's the question. Why don't you bloody tell us one instead of wasting our time just reiterating what the question was? I got 20 seconds. Oh yeah, well, I have all of these magical Disney memories about Disney, and they're magical. These memories, because they're about Disney, which is magic, you know, and the memories are magical. They're all about Disney and the Disney characters, and you know how magical all of that is in my memory, because they're memories that I've got that are magical. So That's my magic memories about Disney.
Some of my own and then some of them from my son. I would take him to Disneyland all the time. Like I was able to afford us a yearly pass.
That other girl's just been like, oh, you just can't get annual passes anymore. And she's like, yeah, I got one for me and for my son. I'm just hoarding annual passes over here. It ran out, I got him a new one, no big deal. She's just like, I wanted to finish school and get one myself, but they don't do them anymore. Kira's just there like, yeah, bitch. And I bought him 2 balloons.
Until like I saw fireworks set to music for the very, very first time.
Yes.
I think it was Believe, I think is what it was. One of the first ones. I actually went with friends, and this was like the first time I had ever gone without like family. I think about it all the time, like me and my 4 best friends from high school. All I remember is being there and just feeling absolutely happy.
Chester's story is the only one I really buy into. That I'm like, yes, that is a magical Disney story. That is something I can relate to. If Chester is the faker, I'm gonna be so pissed. First of all, he doubted Jamal when I doubted Jamal. So I feel like we have this connection. Secondly, no fake fan is wearing a t-shirt like that. Like, you have to be so into Disney to rep that. And third, like that story, I feel like me and Chester, you know.
I didn't know who to vote for. I feel really bad, Kira, I'm sorry.
I voted for Kira. I thought that maybe she's just a Disney mom, not a Disney fan.
Kira's the only person you can vote for here. If any of those people were the mole, they would have voted not to continue the game, unless they know that's what they should have done and so they double bluffed. Whereas Kira's the only one who wanted the game to end, and if she was the mole, she would have taken all of the money. And so for that, I feel like she's the only person reasonably you can vote for, plus like the fabric thing.
No. Me? Okay.
If you want to continue playing the game, please raise your hand in 3, 2, 1.
I have one suspicion, I'm sorry, but like...
Chester just doesn't want to split the money. Well played, my friend. You know what? I do want Chester to vote them all out and to take it all himself.
The fact that she was a cast member, and it's very easy for you to get that information because it's ingrained in the training. You know, there are a lot of us that don't like where we work, so, you know, who knows? If it's one of you, I'm gonna kill you all.
You're not invited anymore.
If the lights turn green, that means you have voted out the mole and you all win.
Oh, I thought just one person had to vote and they carried on, but I guess it has to be majority, right? So I guess, Chester, you'll never know. Except you literally will know in like 1 second when they tell you the results.
If the light turns red, that means the mole is still in the box and you lose.
The mole was Jamal. It's gonna go green.
It's you.
No. Such as hell. Okay, now it's personal. Now it's personal.
Okay, the one who loved Lady and the Tramp seems kind of pleased with herself. And like, who likes Lady and the Tramp? I'm sorry, I can't get past it. Like, I know there's that scene where they eat spaghetti together, but apart from that, like, what does that movie offer?
Will the mole please step forward and reveal yourself in 3, 2, 1.
I am so sorry. How dare you?
I'm a fake fan. Get off my shoulder, Abu. It's over. Don't forget to like and subscribe.